It's now my great pleasure to invite Lady Gaga and Hugh Evans to say more about this very special event, One World.
Thanks, Dr. Tedros. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's listening and watching. I would like to thank the World Health Organization and the United Nations, as well as Global Citizen. Thank you very much, Dr. Tedros and Hugh Evans, for all of your leadership in this fight against COVID-19. And thank you very much to the World Health Organization for asking me to collaborate with you on this special. We are also very grateful to all of the healthcare professionals across the country and around the world who are on the front lines during COVID-19. This global pandemic is a catastrophe. I'm so thankful to them, and I'm also praying for those who are sick. It's been a pleasure to partner with Global Citizen, and we have been working all together behind the scenes to raise money for the World Health Organization. I would also like to send my prayers as well to people that are losing their jobs and are having a hard time feeding themselves and their children. We are raising money for the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. And 7 days ago, we held a call with more than 68 corporate leaders from some of the world's biggest and most generous companies. And I asked them to join my corporate kindness list, as there have been many corporations and philanthropists that have been very, very generous during this time. Since then, we have also been calling on philanthropists around the world as well, and tech companies included. Again, I'd like to reiterate our deep gratitude to the medical community. My heart is very, very achy and warm for those who are ER doctors as well as nurses who are sleeping in cars to make sure that they don't infect their families or their patients. What you are doing is putting yourselves in harm's way to help the world, and we all salute you, and you are a triumph, truly. I am proud to say that over the past 7 days, we've raised a total of $35 million for the Solidarity Fund. This money will include essential PPE, supplies and testing kits around the world, and will help improve lab capacity to rapidly process tests. It will also coordinate research development. It is so important to think globally and to support the World Health Organization to curb the pandemic and prevent future outbreaks. I know Dr. Tedros is particularly concerned about Africa, and so are all. We also need to act locally by supporting local charities and initiatives so that the frontline healthcare workers and those in immediate need have the resources they need to survive during this time. It has been an honor to help with this huge broadcast event, which will take place on April 18th, where we need to tell the stories of and celebrate the frontline community, healthcare workers, and their acts of kindness. We will be on different networks, many networks actually, and I wanted to talk a little bit broadly about what we're going to be doing. What's very important is two things happen for all of us, that we celebrate and we highlight the singular, kind global community that is arising right now. Two, we want to highlight the gravity of this historical, unprecedented cultural movement. And three, we want to celebrate and encourage the power of the human spirit. I would like to, on behalf of the World Health Organization and Global Citizen, thank Dr. Tedros as well as everyone that has donated so far. We are going to continue fundraising, but I would like to also let you know that this broadcast special is not actually a fundraiser. We all wanted to raise the money before we went on air. So when we do air live on April 18th, put your wallets away, put your credit cards away, anything away that you need to, and sit back and enjoy the show that you all very much deserve. And I'd like to pass this now to Hugh Evans, who's been a wonderful partner of mine. Hugh, thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Tedros.
Hi everybody, I didn't think I'd ever get such a response to this little tryout. Here I am in my enforced cell phone isolation, and the song that came out on top today was All I Ask of You. Gosh, all I ask is that I can play the piano properly this morning. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
You want to know how I really feel about the coronavirus, Juan? If I get it, I'll beat it.
I want to tell you the truth about the coronavirus.
This is their next attempt to get Trump.
This is yet another attempt to impeach the president.
The fatality rate's just 1%. So who cares if it's 10 times more lethal than the flu?
The national left-wing media playing up fears of the coronavirus.
We're shutting down our country because of the cold virus.
Coronavirus fear-mongering by the deep state.
The flu is showing much more of an impact on Americans than coronavirus.
At worst case scenario, it could be the flu.
All the talk about coronavirus being so much more deadly doesn't reflect reality.
The coronavirus is the common cold.
I feel like the more I learn about this, the less there is to worry about.
I was about to say the same thing.
A lot of people will have this, and it's very mild.
Children are not really affected.
They'll get better very rapidly. They don't even see a doctor. They don't even call a doctor.
I am far more concerned with stepping on a used heroin needle than I am getting the coronavirus.
We can't err on the side of caution anymore. That's the strategy of losers.
It's called the power of positive thinking.
It's a great time to just go out, go to a local restaurant.
Yeah, it's actually the safest time to fly.
This is the best country in the world to get coronavirus.
But maybe that's just me.
You think we're bad for America? You think I'm bad for America?
Yeah.
The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here is the story of a little girl named Jane, who dreamed of a life helping animals and grew up to help change the world. Come with Jane as she captures a magical world and makes her dreams come true. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. She cherished Jubilee and took him everywhere she went, and Jane loved to be outside. She watched birds making their nest, spiders spinning their webs, and squirrels chasing one another up and down trees. Jane learned all that she could about the animals and plants she studied in her backyard and read about in books. One day, curious Jane wondered where eggs come from, so she and Jubilee snuck into Grandma Nut's chicken coop, hid behind some straw, stayed very still, and observed the miracle. It was a magical world full of joy and wonder, and Jane felt very much a part of it. Jane often climbed her favorite tree, which she named Beach. She would lay her cheek against its trunk and seemed to feel the sap flowing beneath the bark. Jane could feel her own heart, beating, beating, beating. With the wind in her hair, she read and reread the books about Tarzan of the Apes, in which another girl, also named Jane, lived in the jungles of Africa. Jane dreamed of a life in Africa too. A life living with and helping all animals. At night, Jane would tuck Jubilee into bed, say her prayers, and fall asleep. To awake one day, to her dream come true,